Welcome. This is Yoga. I'm Rebecca, and I welcome you today. We were just talking about the need to keep yourself safe and make sure that this practice is your practice, that you feel good in your body, you feel good with what we do. And if anything is uncomfortable, and I don't mean challenging, challenging is good, pain, discomfort, something that feels wrong, that is a moment to say, maybe I'm going to opt out. Maybe I'll go back to the version before, or maybe I'll just sit quietly until I'm ready to come back in. So please take care of yourself, and this is your practice. So we're going to start supine today, lying on our backs. So please go ahead and lie down. And if possible, refrain from having anything under your head, because we'll do a little bit of movement, but please have a folded blanket or that small, flat pillow handy, because we will use that in a moment. So coming on to your back, and take a moment here. You can have your knees bent or legs extended if that feels okay to you. And allow your breath to come slowly and easily without changing anything. Feeling the ground beneath you and all of your points of connection to the ground. So maybe it's the back of your head, your shoulders, arms, hands, your hips, your legs and feet. Feeling the textures beneath you, the solidness of the ground, and the feeling of gravity holding you lovingly to the earth to keep you from spinning off into space. Noticing light, colors, patterns in your space, and then allow your eyes to close if you like, or take a soft gaze. And begin to turn your attention more deeply inward to your breath. Noticing maybe for the first time today that you're breathing. The body breathes without any help from us, but we can also change the breath. And by changing the breath, change our physical state and our psycho-emotional state, perhaps. So we practice. So with each exhale, allow yourself to sink more deeply into the support beneath you, holding nothing back, softening, melting into the ground. With each inhale, feel a sense of expansion, opening, lengthening maybe, and then that sensation of release on the exhale. Let's take 5 breaths here without changing the rhythm of your breath, just awareness. And letting go. And after your 5th exhale, come back into your natural breath and bend your knees with feet on the mat beneath you. Bring your hands down at your sides. Let's hug one and then maybe the other, both knees in. Maybe you can hug your forearms around your knees, or like me, have one hand on each knee. And maybe you'd like to rock a little bit from side to side. It's beginning to find some opening. And keep holding on to your right knee and bring your left foot to the mat. Keep squeezing the knee up towards your shoulder, and then maybe you can slide the left leg long, reaching through the heel, opening up the front of the hip. Keep hugging the right knee in. Staying here for a few breaths. Feeling that opposition of one knee coming in and the other leg reaching long. And then on an exhale, draw the left leg up, hug both knees in, and then switch sides, holding the left knee up towards your shoulder and letting the right foot come down. Maybe you stay right here, or maybe you can slide out, pressing through your heel, having your knee and toes pointing as much as you can towards the ceiling, lengthening the front of your hip, the back of your knee. And on an exhale, draw both knees in, squeeze tight, and then release both feet down. Walk your feet out a little wider towards the outer edges of your mat and just let your knees gently drop from side to side, like a windshield wiper. And now we're going to make our way onto our bellies. And I recommend that you take your pillow or folded blanket and place it underneath your abdomen. You'll come down with the pillow right under your belly and come up onto your forearms. So chest is off the mat. If this causes you pain or discomfort in any way, then just stay on your back for now. Otherwise, press down through your hands, your forearms, and imagine dragging your elbows back and sending your chest forward as if it could move between your arms and come forward. If this is too much extension in your back, you can also walk your hands a little further forward, changing the angle. So find what works for you. Opening the front body. Try to keep your head in line with your spine, so you're looking down and a little bit forward. And then from here, begin to gently kick one heel towards your bottom at a time. Keep pressing the fronts of your hips into the pillow or blanket beneath you. And gentle kicks. Now you may stay with this, or taking your right hand across parallel to the short edge of your mat and bending your left knee. Reach back with your left arm and see if you can touch your heel or even grasp your foot or ankle. Stay here, pressing that hip down into the ground. And if you have hold of your foot or ankle, gently press into your hand and open up your shoulder, your hip, maybe the front of your thigh. And then gently release, come back to center, and gentle kicks once again. Stay with the kicks or move to the other side, first bringing your arm across for more support, bending the knee, and then reaching back and seeing if you can grasp foot or ankle. Think about opening that shoulder. You could even turn and look towards the side with the bent knee. Press foot into hand if you have it. Keep pressing that hip into the mat beneath you, opening up this side of your body. One more breath. And then gently release. Come back to center into your Sphinx pose. And we're just going to do a little sort of twist, turning and looking to over one shoulder and then to the other side. So I'm really just pressing in to the mat and turning. Maybe once more to each side, noticing where you feel a stretch. And then we're going to press up into tabletop. So curl your toes under, walk your hands back, and press up. Now you may want to bring this blanket, you can open it up and bring it right underneath your knees. You can be on your hands, or if that feels bad in your wrists, make fists and have your thumbs pointing forward. Or if you have blocks handy, or even if you don't, come down onto your forearms. Take a moment to find your tabletop position. So your belly should be coming up and in with a little bit of support, so you're not just dropping it. Reaching again through the length of your neck, reaching the crown of your head. And we'll move into our cat-cow here. As you inhale, lift your tail, maybe you curl your toes under, and then ripple up through your spine, reaching your chest forward, reach through the crown of the head. As you exhale, we'll do the reverse movement. Bring your tops of your feet down, press down, lift your belly, release your head, and reverse. Inhale, opening the front body, reaching through the crown and the tailbone. Exhale, draw the belly in and up, tuck the tail, release the head. Take your time moving through cow pose and cat pose, the Halloween cat. Feel this as a pelvic movement and then a ripple up your spine. So tucking or lifting your tail first, and then letting that movement create a ripple up your spine. Exhale as you lift your belly open between your shoulder blades. Inhale as you open the front body, sending the heart forward. Two more here. Moving with your breath. And then find your neutral pelvis where we started and extend the left leg behind you, toes down. Press back, stretching through your foot and ankle. Stay here or inhale and lift the leg just to hip height. So imagine that I could put a teacup right on your sacrum and it wouldn't spill. Pressing out through your heel, reaching through the crown of the head. Stay here or add the reach of your opposite arm. Make sure breath is flowing. Now bring your hand down and cross your leg over your other heel. Bring your toes down and turn to look towards your foot. Getting a stretch along the whole left side body. Okay, now here's a trick. We're going to bend that left leg. See how my knees are still crossed? And I'm going to reach back with my right hand and see if I can grasp my foot or ankle and then lift. Now, this may be not accessible to you today, but if it is, it's the same movement that we did lying down on our bellies, pressing foot into hand, opening the shoulder and the front of the hip, just in opposition. One more breath, and then gently release and come back to your starting position. Wag your tail, letting go a little bit, and we'll move to the other side. Actually, let's come down onto our forearms for a second and open and close palms, fingers. You can even circle your wrists a little bit. And then walk yourself back to your tabletop. And we'll move to the other side, extending the right leg, toes curled under. Press back, stretching through your foot and ankle, back of the leg. You can stay right here or try lifting this leg, reaching the heel away from the crown of the head. The belly is engaged to keep you supported. Stay here or add that opposite reach, getting nice and long. And then lower your hand, cross the leg over the other ankle, and turn to look. Use your breath while you're in the side bend to really stretch through your waist, maybe your rib cage, maybe your hip. And then we'll do our trick, bending the knee, reaching back with the opposite arm, seeing if you can grasp. You can stay right here, or if you have hold of your foot or ankle, lift it up, open your shoulder, press, breathe, open. One more breath, and then release gently. Bring hands and knees to the ground. Toes together, walk your knees out nice and wide, and gently sit your hips back towards your heels. You can come down onto your forearms or stack your fists, stack your hands, or bring your forehead right to the mat. Coming into child's pose. Breathe here, several inhales and exhales, opening up the back body, creating space. Big inhales, long exhales. 2 more. Last one. And on your inhale, come back up through tabletop, walk your knees in underneath your hips. If you have blocks and you're going to use them, draw them forward. And let's step that left foot forward in between your blocks. So your ankle is right underneath your knee. Use your blocks. You can use them on the highest height or medium or wherever you need to be. And begin to press your hips forward. Now, when you're in this position, if your heel's coming up, then scoot your foot forward a little bit until you can put your heel down. And then press back, extending through the back of the leg. You can flex the foot if you like. Inhale and come forward. Exhale and press back. Inhale forward. And this time when you press back, go ahead and if you're using blocks, walk them back and extend your spine out over your extended leg. So you see, I'm not rounding. I'm hinging right here at the hip and then just extending forward, lengthening the crown of the head, getting a nice stretch in the back of the leg. If it's too much, keep this knee bent. You can modulate the stretch by how much you bend or straighten the leg. One more breath here. Inhale forward, and we'll switch sides. Just step that foot back. And on an inhale, bring the other foot forward. Press your hips and make sure that your knee is over your ankles and your heel is down. Maybe scooching forward just a little bit. Finding your alignment, inhale forward, exhale, press back. Inhale forward. Keep lifting the heart so that you're not collapsing and rounding, that you maintain that long spine. Inhale forward. This time, as you exhale back, stay. You can walk your blocks back or your hands for more support. And again, that sense of lengthening out over the leg, keeping the knee as bent as it needs to be to modulate how much stretch you get. Nice long spine. And on your next inhale, coming forward. This time we'll curl back toes under and lift up through a lunge. I'm going to step my back foot forward to meet my front and then walk myself all the way up to standing. Go ahead and move your pillow or blanket, and we'll transition into our standing poses. I'm going to take a sip of water, actually. Maybe you want one too. And then, fix my angle here, just a little. You come to stand in our mountain pose. So feet are about hip distance apart. And when I say hip, I mean hip joint, right? So not out here, but in here, so that the leg is extending right out of the joint. Those of us who are women have that Q angle, I think it's called, where our hips are wider and then our legs gently taper in. And that is fine. We just want to have a nice alignment in the joint. Bring your hands to the top of your hips and rock a little bit forward and back, shifting your weight between your heels and the balls of your feet. And then find a place where you feel balanced front to back between your heels and the balls of your feet. Lift your toes up, making arches. See if you can spread your toes wide apart and then place your toes down. Nice and wide base of support, yogi toes. Do it one more time. Inhale, lift if you can. Spread the toes wide and slowly place them down. Now, if you're suffering from any neuropathy in your feet, this will not feel good. So please, again, take care of yourself. Okay, finding that nice wide base of support. Imagine drawing your feet towards each other, drawing your inner thighs towards each other, lifting your pelvic floor, low belly, lifting the chest, reaching through the crown of the head. Let's inhale and reach arms up, palms meet, exhale, and bring hands to heart center. We'll do that twice more. Now we're going to move into a balance sequence. So position yourself so that you have additional support if you need it. Either turn so you can rest your hand on a wall or if there's a nice sturdy piece of furniture nearby that you could rest your hand on. And then come back to stillness, finding your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Eyes forward. Choose something on the horizon line to keep your eyes fixed on. This is your focal point, or drishti. Some people like it right at eye level, some prefer to look down, and some even prefer to look up. So take a moment to find something that's not moving, eyes resting on that point. Keep that great engagement of your legs as we set up our mountain pose. Imagine that you're sending roots deep into the earth, and then shift ever so slightly into your left leg, freeing the right. You can lift your heel, press through the ball of the foot, and maybe the leg comes up. Turn out at the hip, and then find a place either down at the ankle, at the calf, or above the knee at the thigh, and press foot into leg. Leg presses against the foot. Make sure that you still have that sensation of drawing in towards center. That'll help stabilize your hip. Drawing energy up, lifting the pelvic floor, lifting the heart. Maybe you can lift branches, opening the canopy of your tree. Feel the steadiness of the lower body coming in and out as you need to, and the buoyancy, the openness of the upper body. Big inhale. And when you're ready, exhale, come back to your starting position. Walk it out if you need to. And then rebuild your Tadasana, your mountain pose, pressing down through your feet, balancing front to back. Drawing the feet towards each other, the legs, lifting pelvic floor and low abdomen, chest and heart. Feel the roots drawing deep, and then the shift into the right leg to free the left. Turn out and find your foot position on this side, above or below your knee. Eyes on your focal point, hugging in towards the midline. Come in and out as you need to. Make sure breath is flowing, drawing energy up and up. Maybe branches grow. Lift your chest, your heart. Lift the crown of your head. Yes, be flexible, right? That's the key. Inhale, one more breath. Come down as you need to, and then exhale, hands to heart center, walk in place. Once more, come back to your mountain pose, hugging in, reaching down, reaching up. Make sure breath is flowing, and if it's comfortable and safe for you, let your eyes close for a moment. Feeling what it's like to balance from the inside out. Blink eyes open if they're closed, and shake out. Beautiful, beautiful job. Let me take another sip. And if you have a block, go ahead and grab it now. I'm going to use one of my cork blocks because it's really supportive. And I'm going to place it right near my wall. Now, if you don't have a wall, then maybe you have a piece of furniture. I have my yoga chair here. Maybe you have something else that's sturdy if you need additional support. So with your right leg, place your foot on to the block and step up. If you're near a wall, make sure you have enough space. In fact, I'm going to scooch a little away. Step up, nice and tall. So you've lifted your left hip so that your leg isn't dropping down, right? So your hips are level. And go ahead and gently swing the leg. Just letting it float forward and back. Maybe you stay right here, or maybe you bend your knee and lift the knee up. Beautiful. Maybe you can catch your knee and draw it up towards your shoulder. And release down. Gentle swing. And slowly step down and turn around. Stepping up with your left foot. Finding that balance with support and just the gentle swing. You can stay right here. Oh, that's kind of fun, doing an oppositional swing with my arm. Or let the swing get a little bigger, bringing your knee up. Let it come up and maybe you can grasp it and draw it up towards your shoulder. Hugging in. Release it. Let it swing once again. I love this. This feels really fun. And come to stillness and gently step down. Beautiful. Move your block out of the way and come to stand in a slightly wider posture, maybe edges of your feet towards the edges of your mat. Inhale, arms come up. If it's comfortable, bring them together and release your index finger, pressing up. If that's not comfortable, keep your arms bent. You can touch your shoulders. You can keep your hands on your hips, whatever feels best. Inhale and get nice and tall, reaching through the crown of the head, maybe through the fingertips. We're going to press our right hip towards the side and come up and over to the left. If you need additional support, once you get here, bring your hand down to your hip. Trying to stay in one plane of movement, so you're not falling forward or arching back, coming up and over. Inhale, come up through center, hips come to center. Exhale, hips to the left, come up and over to the right. Stay here, or again, bring that hand down for additional support. And let's move side to side. Inhaling through center, exhale over. Let's stay here for a breath. Inhale, opening the side body. Exhale, curling. Inhale up through center and exhale to the other side. Inhale, open. Exhale, side. Inhale up through center and release arms down. And let's do a gentle twist. Keeping your feet in place, allowing your arms to just float out and wrap around. You can keep your head facing forward or turn your head with your shoulders. Whatever feels good. Just a couple more here. And let this movement get smaller and smaller until you come to stillness. Walk your feet back in to hip distance apart. We have one more simple balance pose, flying crane. So let's inhale and reach up, palms together, exhale to heart center. We'll do it 2 more times. And this time, pause here, hands at heart center, eyes on your focal point. Maybe it's changed. Let's inhale and make our crane wings, lifting one leg. Bend your knee, flex your foot. Exhale down, come through center. Inhale, come to the other side, lifting and down. Now we'll fly. Inhale, whoops, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. You get it. And the next time that you're lifting, hold here. Lift, lift, and come through center. Inhale to the other side, lift, lift, and release down. Walk it out. We're going to make our way down to seated. So you can find your own path, or I'm going to turn towards my blocks from earlier. And I'll inhale up, exhale through chair pose, hands to my block. I'm going to reach back with one foot, bend the knee, bring it down, and walk the other knee back. And then I can use my blocks to help me sit off to one side. I'll draw my legs around to the front. Bringing soles of feet together, knees apart. Let's rock a little from side to side. I'm coming through center, pausing. Take a moment to notice if you're rocking way back onto your tailbone in this position. And if you are, that's an indication that you should sit up higher. So I'm going to grab my blanket and turn the folded edge towards me. And then I can sit up right on the edge of the blanket. Walk my feet in. And then I can sit up nice and tall on my sits bones. Now, if you need some support for your hips, grab your blocks and bring them underneath your thighs or knees. You can do that on any height, highest, medium, or lowest, whatever feels right. Sitting up nice and tall, bring your hands to your knees, your shins, your ankles, or even to your feet. If you can reach your feet, then open them like a book, keeping a long spine. Inhale, pull against your legs to lengthen your spine, reaching your crown towards the ceiling. As you exhale, release your hips a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen, getting nice and tall. And exhale, soften, let your knees drop, hips open. A few more breaths like this. This may be your work right here. If you have a little more space and you'd like to hinge forward from your hips, right? We're keeping a long spine, then you can do so. Coming forward, reaching through the crown of the head. I like to bring my elbows to my knees and help them to gently fold down as I fold forward. Lengthening on the inhales, softening on the exhales. And press in to your fingertips to sit up nice and tall. And remove your blocks if you're using them, and use your hands to help your legs come out to a nice wide seat. And again, maybe sitting up on the edge of your blanket, Sometimes I like to roll off the edge and the blanket's still there, helping me sit up tall. In this position, knees and toes should be pointing towards the ceiling, right? So don't let them flop all the way out. Some of us flop in, whichever way your body goes naturally, not to ignore that, but to work towards a center line approach here. So knees and toes pointing towards the ceiling. You can bring your fingertips behind you for more support if you need to. Maybe your work will be to sit up nice and tall and exhale, soften in the inner thighs and hips. If you have, excuse me, more space and your blocks are still handy, bring them in front of you. And you can bring your hands to your blocks. Inhale, pull back, get long. Exhale, maybe you can hinge forward, long spine. Maybe you can rest your forearms on your blocks. Now, if this is a lot behind your knees, then either bring your legs a little closer together and or bend your knees a little bit. You can even place something rolled up like a towel or a small blanket underneath your knees as we work to stretch our inner thighs and the backs of our legs, lengthening the spine. And as you breathe, maybe more space will present itself, and maybe not. And on an inhale, press into the floor to come up all the way. We're going to bend one knee and draw the sole of the foot to your inner thigh. Now, inhale and raise both arms up. Oh, sorry, I brought my right leg, so I'll be cueing right. Inhale up, right arm comes behind your hip, and exhale, lengthen out, coming into kind of a diagonal stretch in opposition to your extended leg. Inhale, come up through center, bring your left hand to the inside of your left knee. The right hand comes up and over, coming into a side bend. So I'm not coming forward, I'm coming up and over to the side. Inhale through center, exhale away. Inhale through center, exhale up and over in the side bend. You can keep moving or hold in one position or the other. Just a few more breaths. And the next time that you inhale, come through center, fingertips behind you, walk your feet out, both feet, and then switch sides. Inhale up. Exhale, left hand behind your left hip and lean away from the extended right leg. Inhale through center, right hand to the inside of your right knee. Exhale up and over with the left. And again, side bend. Inhale through center and exhale, lengthen away. Inhale up and exhale over. Take your time working here, maybe moving side to side or taking one or the other position and holding for a couple of breaths. Whatever serves you best. And this or the next time that you come through center, lower fingertips behind, walk your legs out and bring them in a little bit closer. Take tiny bounces. And then bring your hands to your legs if you like and roll them in and out, windshield wiper. Letting go in the hips, the knees, the ankles, the backs of the legs. Little bounces once again. And we'll prepare for a lying down, pardon me, a lying down meditation, moving into our Shavasana. So take some time to set up your position for resting pose. Maybe you'd like to lie on your back with your legs up on a chair or up on a bolster or pillows. Maybe you'd like something small underneath your head. Maybe you'd like a blanket over you or even an eye pillow over your eyes. Take the next moment or two as you're moving towards setting up for some breath work and Shavasana. And as you arrive in your position, let go of the efforts of the practice and allow yourself to be really present with the experience of the body and a moment to quiet the mind. Breathing in a comfortable, natural breath, breath flowing in and out. Begin to release into the supports beneath you, feeling the heaviness of your bones and the sensation that muscles are melting away from bones. Softening and letting go. Breath is steady, inhaling and exhaling. Begin to imagine that the breath is like a wave. The inhale rises up and comes up and over you. As you exhale, the wave draws all the way down from head to toes and back out to sea. It's a gentle wave. It's not going to draw you out. It's just going to rock you into comfort and stillness. Inhale, the breath rises like a wave. Exhale, the breath lets go, like the wave going back out to sea. Inhale in and exhale out. Feel the gentle wave rocking you, the motion of the breath, the motion of the water, or rest in stillness, letting go. The sea breathes its way inside me. The rough and tumble rush of waves is balanced by the easy way the water recedes, clear blue disappearing into blue. All my senses are awake to the impersonal magnificence of nature. Everything drops away beside the ocean's wordless song. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. When you feel ready, roll to one side and pause. And then press into your hands to slowly make your way, pardon me, up to sitting, allowing your attention to stay deeply inward for another moment or two. We'll seal our practice with one chant of Om for the community that we create when we practice together. If you'd like to join, bringing hands to heart center, we'll inhale together. Om Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Jai Bhagwan. May the light in you be victorious. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and with each other.